Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. I'm Annette Young. As the situation in Syria continues to deteriorate, the violence is no longer confined to within its borders. Tit-for-tat kidnappings by Syrian rebels and Lebanese Shiite gunmen have vastly escalated tensions inside neighbouring Lebanon. For many Lebanese, these kidnappings recall the dark days of its own civil war. Joining me here in the studio is Lebanese Christian politician Sami Jamail. He has known sectarian violence at close quarters. Sadly, his older brother Pierre, then a government minister, was assassinated in 2006. He's also the nephew of the assassinated former President-elect Bashir Gemayel. Sami Jamail, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
As a Lebanese politician, these round of kidnappings must be very worrying for someone like yourself.
It's worrying because that's how the Lebanese war in 1975 started. So a lot of our older people remember how, see in what's happening now, exactly the beginnings of the Lebanese war in 1975. So this worries us a lot.
It seems that, as we were just saying, that violence is indeed spilling over into Lebanon. I mean, in May we saw some clashes happen in Tripoli, sectarian violence breaking out between the various communities. Do you think there's a danger of it sparking another civil war? Are you seriously concerned about that?
Actually, we believe that it's in the interest of the Syrian regime to have a war in Lebanon. So the Syrian regime has always played this role to bring the Lebanese against each other and to provoke some violence in Lebanon. So we believe that it is time the Lebanese government take action and stop every man who is holding a gun beside the Lebanese army. And this is not being done because this government is an ally of Syria and it's not doing so. So we are calling the Lebanese government to take actions against all these people that we are seeing on TVs every day, declaring themselves as militias or anything like that. We believe that these guys are putting the Lebanese future in danger. So we hope that things will be done by the Lebanese government very soon, because if they don't, we are going straight to civil war.
But what it has done is also revealed the deeply fragmented nature of Lebanese society, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. We never said that it wasn't fragmented. The Lebanese society is a multicultural society, and it's very difficult to deal with a multicultural society when in a small country like Lebanon. So, and it's easy for the Syrian regime to provoke clashes between these groups, and it has always been very easy for them to do so. But now it's a responsibility of the Lebanese people and the Lebanese government to try to preserve this society and try to prevent civil war from coming.
Do you have confidence in the Lebanese government that they can in fact do that?
I don't have confidence because this government is an ally of Syria. And if Syria asks them to let things go, they will let things go. And that's what's happening today.
So therefore, if that's the case, it is a serious risk as far as...
It is a risk. That's why we are counting on the Lebanese people not to let themselves dragged into civil war.
But it does appear that in the past, given the relatively recent memories of its own civil war, that the country does sort of veer away at the last minute from a major political showdown.
Let's hope so. Let's hope that the Lebanese will know how to retrieve themselves in the right moment. But what we are seeing now is very dangerous, and it is frightening a lot of people. A lot of people are losing hope in their country, and this is very, very sad because we already lived a war. We don't want to live another one.
Now, for the benefit of the viewers, because it is rather confusing, the Christian community in Lebanon is very much against President Assad. Yeah. And, for instance, someone like yourself are very much for seeing him being removed from power.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Christian community in Syria, however, has been supporting the president. Do you understand why that has been the case?
There is no proof that the Christians in Syria are supporting Assad, because the Christians in Syria are not organized. There are no Christian parties. There are no Christian groups. There are individuals. So we cannot know exactly what is their position because no one is speaking on their behalf. But regarding the Christians in Lebanon, we had 30 very bad years with this regime, and this regime occupied our country for 30 years. It killed our brothers, our fathers. This regime bombed our homes, destroyed our houses. So we cannot wait to see him leave. But now let's hope that the revolution will know how to deal with the multicultural society of Syria and will fund a democratic Syria and respectful of all the minorities and all the religious groups in Syria.
Now, the Lebanese Shia movement Hezbollah, which of course has a very prominent position in the current government and is a strong ally of Assad, with his inevitable downfall, do you believe that their position within Lebanon could be significantly weakened?
It will be. I think Hezbollah will lose a very important support with the fall of Assad, especially that 80% of our borders are with Syria and the other 20 are with Israel. And with Israel, we don't have any contact, but the rest is Syria. So once these borders will be against Hezbollah, Hezbollah will be in a very bad position. Especially regarding his militia and his armament and the way, all the weapons were coming through the Syrian borders. So now that these borders are not friendly anymore for Hezbollah, it's going to be more difficult for them to continue with this armament.
But could it not be said, certainly they might be weakened materially perhaps by the downfall of Assad, but there's still very strong support within the Shia community in southern Lebanon for Sheikh Nasrallah?
I'm not saying that Hezbollah is going to stop the other day. I'm just saying that it will lose an important support, an important logistical support, political support, and financial support. But Hezbollah, it is true that Hezbollah represent a lot of Lebanese people that belong to the Shiite community, and it will continue to have the support until further notice.
What impact is this Syrian conflict having on the domestic political scene in Lebanon at the moment?
Unfortunately, the Lebanese are affected with what's going on in Syria because, Lebanon is connected to the region through its communities. Sunnis are affected with what's going on with other Sunnis outside the borders, and Shiites are also affected by what's going on with Shiites outside the borders. So we are affected somehow, and we are afraid that this crisis in Syria can come to Lebanon and destroy our country too.
But on a political scene, what do you see the direct impact being? Because it's it's a fragmented society. It's also a very fragmented political system as well.
It is. Our political system needs change, and we've been calling for this change for a long time now. And we believe that the main cause of our problems in Lebanon is our political system. But if you want to talk about what's going on today, I believe that all the region is changing, not only Lebanon, not only Syria. I believe that what we are seeing today is we are retracing the borders of the countries all around the Middle East, and this will have direct effect on all the countries in the region, not only Lebanon.
Would you call the war in Syria a sectarian war?
I believe it didn't start as a sectarian war. It started a war against a dictator. But I believe that with time, the only people that will gather around Assad will be its community. So it will become a sectarian war with time.
So, Sami, do you see Syria breaking down into a series of smaller republics?
Actually, I believe that Syria, Assad has two options. The first option is to die in Damascus, and the second one is to create his own state in the Alawite stronghold, which has some roots in history of the region. In the 1920s, some people talked about a Alawite state in the region. So it is a possibility to have a small Alawite state in the northwest of Syria.
Finally, what do you want the international community to do about Syria?
We believe that the international community is doing already a lot, and it should continue to do everything to stop violence in Syria. That's the most important, and to have a political process in order to get out of this crisis and build a new Syria based on democracy and pluralism and multiculturalism.
Sami Jamal, that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for this edition of the France 24 interview. Stay tuned for more news and headlines, which are coming up very shortly.